Hello everybody, welcome to the Game Corner, the internet show where I share my opinions about games and how they either did great, flopped, or a little bit of both. Now you may be wondering why my avatar has changed from a crappily drawn anime boy to a moderately drawn inkling. Well, Splatoon 2's 3rd anniversary is today, and I thought it would be great to make a video. There's a videos today. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You ever have one of those games that you have a love-hate relationship with? Like, you really enjoy playing the game, but there's just some glaring issues that really grind your gears, but you still end up playing the game because you still overall enjoy the experience, even though it has a bunch of flaws? Well, for me, that game is Splatoon 2. If you don't know, the Splatoon series is noted as Nintendo's attempt to throw their hat in the shooter genre. Naturally, Nintendo innovated on the already established rules of shooters, and the franchise has been a huge success, despite being around since only 2015. God damn! It's easily become well known and a welcome addition to the Nintendo franchise. Now, personally myself, this is a Nintendo franchise I don't have a lot of experience in. I've played a couple games of Splatoon 1 on my friend's Wii U, and I don't have that many hours logged into Splatoon 2 on the Switch. Now, you might be saying at this point, if you don't have experience with the franchise, then why are you sharing your opinion? You'll probably seem misinformed. Yeah, that's probably fair, so take my critiques with a grain of salt. Without further ado, let's get it. In Splatoon 2, you play as an underage teen. Yes, an underage teen. Wait, I'm pretty sure I've used this joke already. Yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Splatoon's unique ink mechanic is amazing. If you don't know what I mean, I'm gonna explain it right now. Also, why the
family-friendly sensor noise
are you watching this video if you don't? So, your ammunition is your ink. You're allowed to hide and swim in your ink. Swimming in your ink is also a lot faster than running. So, primarily you're using swimming as your main method of movement. Swimming in your ink and the overall movement of this game is amazing. Despite having momentum in the game and making swimming seem slow at some times, the player has the option to cancel movement with sub-strafing as well as ledge canceling. Now, despite all the fancy gamer terminology being thrown around in this video, sub-strafing and ledge canceling are very easy to perform. Being able to traverse walls and enhance your movement speed also adds a new layer to your primary fire, making the game 10 times better. The ink mechanic allows the player to interact with the opponent in many ways. You can shark, which is just a means of hiding in your own ink, and you can also stealth swim to get the jump on your opponent. This also applies to the opponent as well, making enemy turf seem quite daunting to approach. The controls in this game are excellent. The addition of motion controls makes the game way more intense, as aiming is pretty much as fast as a computer mouse. Although, for those hardcore FPS players, you have the option to disable the motion controls in the menu and play with only the sticks. I'm gonna give you a little warning. As somebody who's played with sticks for about a year, you need motion controls to be good at this game. The slight adjustments that you're able to make during a gunfight can turn the tide fast, changing a situation from a trade to completely winning the gunfight altogether. Also, some techniques like splat hopping, a tech in which you get out of enemy ink as fast as possible, are completely impossible when using sticks, or at least 100 times more difficult. The weapons in the game allow any type of player to enjoy the gameplay. If you're already familiar with the shooter genre, you could probably play most shooter weapons, identifying as how classic weapons would usually work, like assault rifles, snipers, Gatling guns, and even shotguns. They're all pretty much represented in Splatoon. Although, if you have never touched Call of Duty in your entire life, you can play other weapons like rollers, blasters, brushes, and even sloshers.
Why you bully me?
Don't look at me like that.
Why you bully me?
I'll explain why I don't like you in a few minutes. We're gonna get there. All of these weapons end up falling into specific categories depending on what role they should play in a match. Being a Slayer, a weapon that mainly prioritizes getting kills and messing with the opponent. Support, mainly being more objective-based, supporting the team with gaining territory and specials, winning neutral, and also helping Slayers whenever they may need it. And a backliner. This player usually has the most range on a team, acting as the main super jump source, as well as being the one who calls out the most threats. Weapons being paired with abilities also allow the player to better build an inkling that best fits their playstyle. Want to be a Slayer, killing everything in sight and dominating the opponent? How about playing lots of swim speed up, quick respawn, and quick super jump? Want a Shark and be the best flanker to ever exist? Why not play Ninja Squid? How about the best backline to ever backline the backline? Try Respawn Punisher. What I'm trying to say is, these game mechanics allow Splatoon to be a fun, fast-paced experience that relies on your teamwork, knowledge, and mechanical expertise to succeed. Well, at least in the ranked mode. Splatoon 2 also has great casual modes, being Salmon Run, Turf War, League Battles, and even 2 amazing story campaigns. Seriously, if super hardcore competitive gameplay isn't your thing, then there's so much more content that you can enjoy. Turf War is a pretty basic mode that prioritizes map control over every other mode in the game, as it decides who wins or loses. This is the main mode of Splatoon that's advertised in commercials and even in the story of the game itself. Despite how very casual the mode is, it's pretty fun to enjoy if you want to, play without the salt and enjoy some memes with the boys. Haha, you know what I'm saying? Right, Jeff?
If you've played Splatoon, you've probably played a shooter weapon before. Like, take the NZ reporting for example. It's a good example of a lot of shooters.
Alright, thanks.
You see, that's
Thanks.
pretty good range.
Okay, you can be.
firing
It's
range.
not your segment yet. Relax. You're gonna get your segment soon.
I saw Kage.
Okay, thank you. Salmon Run is the basic infinite zombie wave mode, but with the classic Nintendo twist. The objective of the game is to collect golden eggs by defeating bosses that appear on the map. The game spawns bosses that can easily overwhelm you if your squad doesn't manage their time correctly. This is also another great mode to play with your friends, if ranked and turf war aren't your style. Another pro to this mode is that it's an excellent way to grind money and ability chunks, which help you further your endeavors in other multiplayer modes. League battles are just ranked battles, but you can play with your friends. Moving on, please! If multiplayer isn't your thing, and you just want to enjoy the third-person shooter goodness that is Splatoon, or if you don't have Nintendo Online, what's wrong with you? You can easily enjoy Splatoon 2's campaigns, being Octo Valley and the $20 Octo expansion. Octo Valley is a nice distraction from multiplayer, better building the world of Splatoon, with its sunken scrolls and having some pretty decent completionist awards being the hero replica weapons. Although, the true bam spankin' goodness comes from the Octo expansion, being surprisingly challenging, with even more world building and a secret final boss that'll make you pull your hair out. I guess, since I already mentioned the story, I should probably say this too. Go Team Marie! Go Team I mean Chaos, or Team Pearl, whatever it is, I don't know. Fight me over your waifus down in the comments below. This will help push the video out, and we can have an enlightened conversation about our tastes in fictional women. And although this isn't technically a specific game mode, I feel I should mention the biggest mode in Splatoon 2. Splatfest. Splatfests are a special mode in Splatoon that rely on 2 sides competing with each other, each side being whatever. No, I'm completely serious when I say that. One Splatfest I was actually able to participate in was Ketchup vs. Mayo. The funny thing was that this was a rerun Splatfest and was actually a rematch. The Splatfests usually happen in the span of 3 days, in which only Turf War is playable, which kinda sucks, but I mean, whatever. During this time, data is collected to see which team wins the Splatfest overall. The determining stats are as follows, being popularity, solo mode, and team mode. Whoever wins the tally wins the event overall. Splatfests are a fun way for the community to truly interact with each other, with members of teams joining Discord calls with each other and bonding over the game they love. Overall, I enjoy doing Splatfests, even if you're not allowed to play ranked mode. Like seriously! Why can't you just replace one of the Turf War deciding modes with a ranked mode, similar to League Battles or something like that? Like, it doesn't take too much effort. Like, Nintendo, you decide to isolate a huge amount of players in your I mean, in the end though, like, I still play Turf War Dark Mode because I get sea snails. I like sea snails. They're very useful. Also, the music's really cool. I like the music. Alright, so now that I've simped over this game for about 11 minutes, it's time to get to the real reason why people clicked on this video. Here's a bunch of stupid stuff that I don't like. I'm just gonna put a little warning up here. I'm just gonna leave it up there, just for you to see. Why can't I play ranked battle modes without worrying about my rank dropping? I mean, playing Turf War is fun and all, but it gets boring after a while. Not only that, but I would like to play the $60 video game that I bought without stressing out so much that my hair falls off and the remaining turn into a printing paper white. It's not really that hard to make League Battle modes an optional multiplayer with friends, as well as giving it a solo queue option so I can play and enjoy my time without tryharding every 20 seconds. Why is the ranking system so stupid? With the whole rotation system in place, each mode has its own specific rank for how much you're able to perform, but unlike most people, I can't play the video game for 24 hours straight, meaning that I have to look for which modes are going to be in which time slot and plan my day around playing that entire rotation. God forbid I actually want to improve my clan bits rank only to be met with a Splat Zones rotation. I didn't ask to play slightly more serious Turf War. I want to play basketball with a football clan, please. It really sucks too, because the reason why this stupid rotation exists is because the developer of this game thinks that they can pick and choose how I want to enjoy my $60 video game. Seriously, look it up. I'll even put it in the description of this video if you want. You know what? Whatever. I don't give a crap if the Splatoon 2 developer is such a selfish piece of... If the developer of Splatoon wants to keep the Splatoon 2 system rotations, I'm fine with that. Okay? But at least collapse all of the ranks into one so I don't have to stay up until 12 AM just to play the video game that I bought for full price. If you don't want to let me enjoy the obviously better ranking system and you want to keep the 4 separate ranks, then just let me pick which game mode I want to play. Now, you might be saying, but Salt Kage, if the game worked like that, then some modes are going to be more populated than others. Or, but Salt Kage, if we do the single ranked modes, then you might be able to be really good at one mode, but suck at the others, making the matchmaking system completely broken at that point.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you allow players to pick which mode they want to play, of course some modes are going to be more populated than others, and finding games might be harder too, but frankly, I don't mind. I don't have to deal with the current ranking system. The wait times in Splatoon 2 are already kinda dumb sometimes, and the other game modes like COD let you pick which mode you want to play. And it's completely okay, alright? Stop complaining. Alright, go outside. It'll be alright. You see, it's funny because I'm roasting you guys about complaining and not going outside and calling you incels, but the funny thing is that like I'm probably in the same boat as you guys. So like it doesn't make sense, and I sound like a hypocrite. That was the joke. That was the joke of this section. Also, the modes in Splatoon shouldn't affect your gameplay to the point where you're a god in tower control and complete doo-doo garbage in clams. The fundamentals and the basic concepts of the game are still the same, and you should be fine. The separate ranked systems are mainly just annoying because team comps and overall Splatoon matchmaking can generally shaft you so hard.
Please. No Johns.
Shut up, Reggie. I didn't ask for your opinion. You don't even work in Nintendo. The simple solution would be just to fix the ranked system in either way I just explained, so everyone who plays this game can have less of a headache in solo queue. This point also goes to Salmon Run 2 because it's like kind of the same issue, except that like you're just not allowed to play the game mode that you want to, and it's really dumb. Why is there no voice chat in this game? Yes, I have Nintendo Online, and no, I don't use it for voice chat. I use Discord, and no, that's not a good excuse. I'm not Sonic, okay? I'm not gonna make a Discord call with all the people in my lobby in the beginning of the game and speak to them for 3 minutes only for the teams to be shuffled or for me to leave the lobby to repeat the process. And I get it. Nintendo doesn't want Jimmy McTimmy to be called the N-word when he logs in to play Splatoon. But Jimmy McTimmy isn't playing solo queue ranked, trying to make callouts to teammates with the same "this way" button, only for them to not even see the message and completely ignore me, causing us to lose the game because they decide to charge mid with the Rainmaker during overtime like a complete dunce. Plus, it's pretty obvious that Nintendo does not have a problem with voice chat, as they put it in Nintendo Online. So why can't they just put it in the game? At least put it in the ranked mode so I don't have a brain aneurysm every 5 seconds because my Sploosh-O-Matic keeps trying to challenge the enemy E-leader in solo queue, and they can't take the hint that they have to flank, but I keep telling them because there's no VC, and I can't tell them, hey bro, you just have to swim around him, and you'll kill him. It's pretty easy, bro. Why does RNG exist in this game? Like, I get the whole spread of a bullet thing, and it makes sense that it would because the game has physics and gravity and stuff like that, but if you're gonna have RNG in a game, make it affect weapon accuracy at specific ranges. I shouldn't be in a firefight with another player at a reasonable, let me say this again, reasonable distance, and frankly lose the gunfight because my gun had worse RNG than the other, and I just got really, really unlucky. This especially sucks when your aim is on point, but you still die anyway. This is mainly apparent in weapons like the 96 and the 52 gal. Now, you might be saying, but Salt Kage, RNG does affect accuracy as the distance between two targets is longer, and the point of the 96 and the 95 is that they have bad RNG but can two-shot opponents. No. Shut up. If I'm in pissing distance of my opponent, I shouldn't suffer from RNG, and I shouldn't have to solo main the Splash-O-Matic just to make RNG not an issue when it comes to gameplay. Bottom line is, the RNG system should be fixed to better make every weapon more viable in the game. Other shooters don't deal with this issue because most shooters don't have RNG. Instead, hit detection is pretty much immediate, so if your reticle is on the opponent and you pull the trigger, the damage will be given to the opponent in an instant. But this is where I'm actually going to give a thumbs up to Splatoon. Because of the way the game is programmed, with gravity and all that kind of stuff, a hit detection system similar to other shooters would make the game not fun. So to compensate, the RNG system was put into place, having bullets travel at their own pace, as well as having them have a sorted spread. I feel like I should make this clear. I'm okay with bullets taking time to travel. I'm not okay with how the RNG system completely botches gunfights sometimes. An example of this in a real shooter would be the energy weapons in Black Ops 3, with having the bullets taking their own time to travel, but still being 100% accurate. I'm sorry if this is the stupidest point in the video. I don't like the RNG in the game, and oddly enough, this isn't the biggest thing that pisses me off the most in the game. Why is the map design really stupid sometimes? Like, anytime Splatoon decides to make a map with curved slopes, I cringe inside. Splatoon's movement system and engine leads itself to steep inclines like walls and ramps that look like this, but sometimes the game designers will make the movement a pain in the butt by having maps with curved slopes. Blackbelly Skate Park being the worst of these offenders. I find Blackbelly Skate Park to be a fun map, but really annoying because its design is like a fat middle finger from the designers of the game. Haha! You actually like the movement in the game? Let me help you with that. The camera doesn't help at times either, and I'll find myself dying in Blackbelly Skate Park because my Inkling can't move up the ramp efficiently and the camera's having 7 seizures at the same time. My solution to this issue? Meh. Just design future maps better. Don't change Blackbelly Skate Park, though. Despite how much I hate it, I think it's aesthetically one of my favorite maps. Why is the tower so stupid to get on top of? Like, the only way to move the tower, really, is to get on top of it, but sometimes it's a pain in the
family-friendly sensor noise.
Because games in overtime end too early because of my inability to climb the tower. Like, my Inkling will sometimes spaz out on the corner of the tower, not being able to do anything. My solution to this? Just make it a payload like in Overwatch. If the solution is implied, then the game lends itself to Splatoon's mechanics even better than it already does. And I can enjoy one of my favorite modes without having a heart attack. Why does the game decide to start a match when someone disconnects at the start screen? Just put everybody back to the loading screen and actually give us a fair fight. Wait, why do disconnects happen anyway? I'm not getting mad at the game because some people decide to play at the local 7-Eleven or McDonald's. It's their fault that kind of stuff happens. But why doesn't the game make it easier for the team with the disadvantage to play? You could easily create a comeback mechanic for these specific situations since they happen so frequently. Like, make the zones easier to capture, lower the timer, make the tower move faster, make the required number of clams lower or something. And if Nintendo doesn't want to do that because it would make teams of 3 unstoppable gods of nature, then just let a bot join the fight on the team of 3. The gear of that bot will already have been loaded in the game, since the bot's just taking over for Jimmy McTimmy who decided to play at the McDonald's. And we know Nintendo can make an AI that has surprisingly very good technical capability when it comes to this game. You know the rules. There's literally no excuse for this not to already be a thing in the game. Disconnects were already an issue in Splatoon 1, so the fact that it's not addressed in the sequel is stupid, and it makes the game developers look lazy. Why are there so many panic buttons in this game? Seriously, Splashdown, Baller, Booyah Bomb, Ink Armor, sometimes, Ultra Stamp, sometimes. How many times were you about to splat somebody, and then they pushed their panic button to either punish you for winning the gunfight, or reset the situation back to neutral? Now, if you did not raise your hand, you're either a poopy head, or you've never played a game of Splatoon 2 in your life. To sum this up, just nerf specials, and Bubbler was better than Ink Armor. We look. Don't give me the don't go clickety clackety in the comments saying Ink Armor is balanced and it's No, it's not. Bubbler was 100 times better. Now you might be saying, Salt Kage, you can cancel splashdowns if you're good enough at the game, which you aren't, because you wouldn't have made this video if you actually were. Actually, this would be a fair critique. If you were actually able to practice splashdown cancels, there's no real way to practice unless you and your homies play in the private lobby and spend hours upon... Ugh. I choked on some spit. I guess that's just proof that I don't have enough hate in my heart to roast video games. There's no real efficient way to practice unless you and the homies play in a private lobby and spend hours upon hours to perfect your timing, which is a huge waste of time for your homies. My solution for this? Make the training room better. The training room is a nice place to practice aim and warm up without immediately turning the game off and crying yourself to sleep. But it sucks because I always think to myself, Nintendo should put an AI in the training room that allows you to practice against specific specials that you're having trouble with, like bomb rushes, splashdowns, and even inkjet. But for some reason, Nintendo isn't that smart. All they gotta do is make the training room better, allowing the player to actually, train and practice skills that they need to get the hang of, to be good. Like splashdown cancels. Alright guys, I've ranted for a long time. I thought this video was gonna be 20 minutes, but it looks like it's gonna be 30 minutes. So I mean, might as well keep going. Might as well keep going, am I right? Okay. Looks like it's time for the final complaint. Are you ready? This is probably my most controversial opinion because, it's really mean. Actually, this could be offensive to some people. Why do sloshers exist? Seriously, who at Nintendo, when developing this game, thought a consistent two-shot weapon with a reasonable fire rate was a good idea? It doesn't help that it has massive range and the hitbox is the size of my entire apartment. Oh, I forgot to mention that the hitbox can be curved if you move the controller in the right way, making the hitboxes even bigger. This issue becomes a problem with its variants like the Bloblobler and the Tri-Slosher. Hey! Let's give the Slosher one of the most broken subs and broken specials in the game, being Burst Bombs and Ink Armor. Hey, instead of Sloshers attacking in the air, let's have their hitbox travel across the ground in a trail of bubbles, with the bubbles having their own separate hitboxes, despite having 5 or 7 bubbles per shot, and each bubble easily being able to two-shot you. Also, the bubbles can be manipulated to make a literal wall hitbox, and the bubbles can bounce off walls and can still hit you, so the opponent doesn't actually have to directly aim at you to kill. And you might be saying, Salt Kage, you're just bad and you don't know how to approach sloshers. And indeed, I thought the same way as you did. I thought, maybe I'm just a really bad player, so I decided to join some Splatoon Discords and get some advice. Do you know what my advice was? Use bombs and don't directly approach a slosher. My problem with this is, in order for bombs to be truly useful, I have to use burst bombs, which limits my weapon choice, which sucks because I should be able to play any weapon instead I want because it's just a game where I'm supposed to have fun, right? And it isn't really a surefire method, as I could still lose the confrontation because hitboxes in Splatoon still exist even after a player firing a hitbox splats in a violent explosion. And don't directly approach sloshers. That's actually some good advice, and I actually follow it to this day. But there are still some issues with that, because sometimes, even if I get the jump on them, my RNG will be bad, or I might just miss my last shot, which would have splatted them, and they splat me first because slosher go whoosh! Alright, so I think I'm done. Some of my last complaints are making ability chunks easier to get or lowering the requirements and adding more hairstyles to Octolings. More hairstyles in general. Just give more hair, please. Give me more hairstyles. They're honestly if I'm being honest, other than that, the other complaints that I have are very minor and I don't really care. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've also decided for this ending segment of this episode to have my friend Jeff speak his opinion about the game, especially because he's played the game a lot longer than me, and he probably knows a lot more too. So you'll probably enjoy another biased opinion because why not? More opinions are coming. Can can't you tell that I'm getting tired? I've been recording for like 3 hours already. Anyway, here's Jeff. Here, take the microphone. Do your thing. Have fun.
If you've played Splatoon, you've probably played a shooter weapon before. Like, take the end folder for example. It's a good example of a lot of shooters. You see, that's pretty good range, good firing rate. That like a lot of shooters, it would be good at good. It's good at close to medium range, and it's a reliable choice. And that's why people main shooters. And I honestly respect that. But I mean, has anyone ever asked, man, I wish this weapon was a two-shot and the hitbox was about as thick as Ike's Nair? If you have, you're dead to me. Now, some of you might have heard that and think, oh, come on, that can't be that bad. I mean, like, rollers have really thick hitboxes and, they're one-shot kills. At the same range as a Tri-Slosher, that did 35 damage. I have to be, like, this close for that to actually insta-kill. The carbon roll, you basically have to be breathing down your enemy's back in order for that to insta-kill. And yeah, I know there's Dynamo Roller, which, like, can kill him, like, maybe, that's an insta-kill, maybe, like, a little bit closer than what Tri-Slosher was. But look at the startup time on this, honestly. Like, and I'm aware that you could just, jump and then do the thing and it increases the insta-kill range. But look at the startup time on that. You could dodge that. I mean, I can dodge that. Going back to Tri-Slosher, that's really fast. And plus, that's 64 damage per hit. Like, that's better than .52 gal. And that's a thick hitbox. By the way, while on the topic of sloshers, I want to talk about the Blob Lobber. Like, I remember the day they added the Blob Lobber to the game, and I went to go take a look at it in Sheldon's shop. Okay, yeah, it's got good range, and, the same handling as the standard slosher, but it does way less damage than the normal slosher. It can't be that good, right? Yeah, no, it's just better. Why did they add this to the game? Why? It's literally just better. Why? Nintendo, why did you do this? Why? Why? And you know what? I could buy the Octo expansion for $12, which does have a higher difficulty. But, I mean, that's $20 out of my pocket just to play just to unlock, this blessing of DLC. Like, why wouldn't I buy? Wait. I was supposed to be insulting this game, wasn't I? I kind of forgot about that. What's something degenerate I can complain about? Oh, right. Online battling. And disconnects. We're in a friendly match right now. Oh, cute, they made a heart. It's a pretty friendly match right now. I think it was a good time to talk about one of the flaws with the bounce in this game. Now, in this game, unlike a lot of shooters, like, you have, like, 10 people per team, you have 4 people per team in this one. Now, I like it that it keeps battles fast-paced. Because, yeah, it very much does keep battles fast-paced, but one problem with it is that since you have 10 people per team, that means that you're 25% of this team. And if anyone slacks off, like this team is doing now, then, or like you have disconnect, like you can see at the top, that's actually perfect. That just basically means an insta-lose for you guys, because uh, in this game, a 3v4 is practically unwinnable. Or fix your internet, or just don't suck, please. I don't want to have to carry the entire team. Yes, this is what we do. This is how we Splatoon, guys.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Contemplating suicide over there. He's contemplating. Don't jump, man. Good choice. So about the story mode of this game, it's pretty good. I can't play and focus at the same time. Sorry, Amir. Sorry, I'm making you edit this. Sorry, Salt Kage. Oops, whatever. The story, I'll be honest, is not very complicated, but I can't really get on that because that's not really Nintendo's thing. They don't really make complicated stories. They just want to make fun games. The difficulty is not as hard as it was in the last game. I mean, a couple bosses are harder, but overall the difficulty seems to be easier. And I don't really like that because, like, what, Nintendo, you think I gotten bad at this game? Like, no, give me a little bit more difficulty. I like it. But you know what's really bad about this game? Something that's an unforgivable sin? Look at Spike over there. I'm gonna just get close to him, listen to him. You hear that? He's playing Squid Jump on his phone. He's playing Squid. Why can't we play Squid Jump? Come on. We love that game. Why I want to play Squid Jump. Instead, all we got is this rhythm game. What happened to all the minigames in the original one? And you know what? Speaking of rhythm games, let's take a look at Squid Beats 2, why don't we? Look at this. Look. You expect me to hit every single one of those? What is that? That's just a wall. How the frick does anyone do that? So, in short, this game is bad. 0 out of 10. I want my $80 back that I paid for this game and for the expansion.
Really?
I'm kidding. I love this game. I've logged almost 700 hours into it. Splatoon 2, please forgive me for everything I said about you. I love you. Please, I don't want a relationship to end, please. Also, this is for Salt Collier, the editor. This is something you could do during the final Splatfest. I thought I'd show you.
Alright, so Jeff wants to show me something then. I guess it's just some, like, game-breaking glitch or something that'll get me mad. I don't. You know what? We're turning into a reaction channel. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, here we go. All right. So Jeff is just playing his thing. Chaos versus order. All right. He's doing his ink brush main thing. Just running up to people and you know. All right. I don't. Whoa. What's okay? What? Oh my God! Is that the what? That's the waifu. She's here. What? Holy.
Family-friendly sensor noise.
I think I
Family-friendly sensor noise.
my pants. Alright, so despite me taking a fat diaper doo-doo on Splatoon 2, I still really enjoy the game, and I'm still gonna keep playing it, and the eventual sequel that will come out. Please, give me Splatoon 3 as soon as possible. I want to play Splatoon 3 so bad, because Splatoon 2 is so much better than Splatoon 1. Actually, that's very arguable. Splatoon 1's still pretty fire. Honestly, Splatoon 2 just has some kinks that, make me really angry boy. Angry. Also, if it wasn't obvious from the multiple disclaimers, this is just my opinion, so like don't get too offended. Also, thanks Jeff for being in the video and sharing your opinion. He plays Splatoon and stuff, which is nice. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. If he does, I'll put it here. He might start streaming on Twitch because he was like, "Oh yeah, streaming." So anything, this is where Jeff gets his shout out. Now it's time for my shout out. I have a Twitch now. Come over to twitch.tv/thesaltkage to see me live and stuff. We're currently playing Persona 5 on Twitch, but today I might be playing Splatoon 2 to celebrate, Splatoon's anniversary because I love Splatoon. So remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, dab on your mom, teach your mom how to dab so she can dab back, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh God, I have to go to the bathroom. Holy crap.